Good morning, everyone. My name is Madhipad Harikrishna. Today, I am going to present what I learned during my MERN Stack internship. During this internship, I gained knowledge about full stack web development, worked on real-time project, and learned how different technologies work together to build modern web application. And coming to this, during my internship, I learned about both front-end and back-end development using MERN Stack. I understood how websites are designed, developed, and connected with databases. Along with learning new technologies, I also improved my coding skills, debugging techniques, and problem solving ability by working on real time applications. And what the main concept of this internship is what is full stack development? Full stack development means developing both the front end and back end of a web application. The front end is a part that users see and interact with, while the back end manages business logic, databases, and APIs. A full stack developer has the ability to build a complete application from start to finish by connecting all these components together. And coming to the MERN stack. The MERN stack consists of four technologies: MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, and Node.js. MongoDB is used to store data. Express.js helps build backend APIs. React creates the interactive user interface, and Node.js runs the JavaScript on the server. Together, these technologies helps in developing complete web applications using JavaScript. And I also learned how a website works behind the scenes. When a user enters a website URL, the browser sends a request to the server. The DNS converts the domain name into an IP address so that browser can locate the server. The server processes the request and sends back HTML, CSS, JavaScripts, and other data. Finally, the browser combines everything and displays the web page to the user. And HTML. It is the foundation of every web page. During my internship, I learned how to create web page structures using HTML tags. I worked with headings, paragraphs, images, hyperlinks, tables, lists, and forms. HTML provides the basic layout and content of the website, which is later styled using CSS. It is used to improve the appearance of web pages. I learned how to apply colors, fonts, spacing, borders, and layouts. I also understand the CSS box model, selectors, flexbox, grid, and responsive design techniques. CSS makes a website attractive and ensures they look good on different screen sizes. And JavaScript makes web pages interactive and dynamic. I learned variables, data types, arrays, objectives, functions, loops, and conditional statements. I also worked with DOM manipulation and event handling, which allow web pages to respond to users' actions like button clicks and form submissions. React.js is a JavaScript library used for building modern user interfaces. During my internship, I learned about components, JSX, props, state management, event handling, and React router. React allows us to build reusable components, making development faster and applications easier to maintain. And React hooks helps manage component logic more efficiently. I used use state to manage component data, use effect for lifecycle events and API calls, use navigate for page navigation, use params to access URL parameters, use selector to read data from Redux, and use dispatch to update the global state. These hooks made my React code cleaner and easier to manage. Redux is used to state management in large React applications. Instead of passing data through multiple components, Redux stores application data in a central store. I learned how actions, reducers, dispatch, and selectors works together to manage and update data efficiently across the application. Node.js allows JavaScript to learn out the browser on the server. During my internship, I learned how to create servers, work with modules, use npm packages, and build REST APIs. Node.js helped me understand how backend applications process requests and communicate with databases. Express.js is a backend framework built on Node.js that simplifies server development. I learned how to create routes, use middlewares, handling requests and responses, develop REST APIs, and manage errors. Express makes backend development faster and more organized. MongoDB. MongoDB is a NoSQL database used to store application data. I learned about collections, documents, CRUD operations, MongoDB Atlas, and database connectivity. MongoDB stores data in a flexible JSON-like documents, making it easy to manage and retrieve application data. To make a complete application, the front end and back end must communicate using APIs. I learned REST API methods like get, put, post, and delete. I also learned Axios and the fetch API to send requests from the front end to the back end. This allows my React application to retrieve and update data stored in MongoDB. Authentication is used to secure web applications. During my internship, I learned user registration, login systems, JWT authentication, password encryption using bcrypt and protected routes. These techniques ensure that only authorized users can access specific parts of the application. Food ordering website. As a part of my internship, I developed a food ordering website using MERN Stack. The application includes user registration, login, restaurant listenings, search functionality, cart management, checkout, and order payment. This project helped me understand how front-end, back-end APIs and database work together in real-world applications. And finally, the skills I improved throughout my internship is both technical and problem solving. I gained practical experience with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Redux, Node.js, Express.js, MongoDB, Git, and GitHub. I also become more confident in debugging code, integrating APIs, and building complete web applications. And the major challenges and the learnings during this internship is I faced several challenges such as understanding React component flow, connecting front-end with backend APIs, managing state using Redux, handling form validation, and fixing API errors. By solving these problems, I improved my logical thinking, debugging skills, and confidence in full stack development. To conclude this internship, I provided me with practical knowledge of MERN Stack development. I learned how to build a complete web application from scratch, connected front-end and back-end, manage databases, and implement authentication. Overall, this internship strengthened my technical skills and prepared me to work on real-world full-stack development projects. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any kind of question if anyone asked me based on this internship. And later on, this is the code related to front end and back end. And here I created several folders and files in it, like config, controllers, middlewares, models, and node modules, services, utils. Each folder has each specification with it. And coming to the backend file structure, the backend folder structure, the backend folder contains all server side code. The config folder, like this config folder, stores configuration files, and .env file stores sensitive information like the database URL, several server port, and JWT and JWT secret key. The node modules folder. Here we see the node modules folder. Yeah, node modules folder contains all installed npm packages required for the project, and app.js file here. App dot close the node modules, and app.js file where I configure express middlewares and routes, while server.js, I will show this app.js and server.js. Server.js is the entry point that starts the server. Finally, here if we see package.json contains the project information and dependency list, and package log JSON stores the exact versions of installed packages. This structure keeps the backend organized and easy to maintain. Next, and coming to the authentication development flow, I first created a user schema where it is like, I will show you user schema. Yeah, I created the user schema which defines fields like email, password, phone number, role, avatar, and password reset information. After defining this user schema, and I created that controller also for that to control this user. Here, auth controllers. Yeah, this is the controller. After which contains functions like sign up, login, log out, update profile, change password, forgot password, and reset password. Then I created a route for it. And here I created a for this auth.js. This is the router for it, which map different URLs to these controller functions. These routes are registered inside the previously shown app.js folder, making them accessible through API endpoints. Finally, it tested every API using this Postman to ensure they're working correctly before connecting them with frontend. Next thing, JWT authentication flow. First, the user enters the email and password on login page. These credentials are set to authentication server. When they are verified against the database, if the credentials are valid, the server generates a JWT token, user information, and signs it using a secret key. The token is then sent back to the silent and stored in local or memory. When the user requests a protected resource, the frontend sends this token in authentication header. The backend verifies the token before allowing access. If the token is valid, the request data is returned. Otherwise, access is denied. This mechanism provides secure authentication without storing session data on the server. Let's see this, and coming to yeah, when it comes to sign up, yeah, oh, sorry, here, like this is how sign up will process. And when it comes to login, there is no name field is required, just password and email. How it works, like, oh, sorry, through login also happening like this. And now In many of the programs, if we observe, we use several async await flows. Like without async and await, the multiple then methods are used, making the code difficult to read when the many asynchronous operations are involved. Now, HTTP methods. And coming to here, Postman, here we are using several HTTP methods like get, post, put, patch, delete, head options. Like get is used to retrieve data from the server, such as fetching restaurants or menu items. Post is used to create new resources like registering a new user or placing an order. Put updates an existing resource complexity, such as updating a user profile. Delete removes the resource from the database. For example, deleting a cart item. Patch is used for partial updates when only specific fields need to be modified. These methods form the foundation of REST API communications. Next, HTTP status codes. These plays an important role like yeah. Here we observe this 401 unauthorized. Like these are called HTTP status codes, and we observe several numbers like that. When the backend responds to the request, it returns an HTTP status code. Status code starting with 1xx include information responses. Code starting 2xx range indicates successful operations such as 200 OK and 201 created. Codes in 3xx range represent the redirections. Silent site errors fall under 4xx because here I entered wrong email ID. So here 4xx method, bad request, unauthorized, and 401 not found. 404 not found. Server-side problems are completely represented by 5xx codes with 500 internal server error being the most common. These status codes helps identify which an API request was successful or if an error occurred. Next thing, restaurant menu and food item relationship. Each restaurant has one menu, while each menu contains multiple food items. Every food item belongs to one menu and one restaurant. MongoDB stores this relationship. Like if we see this in this MongoDB, our food app, and it stores our restaurants and order history, our menus regarding the restaurants, and the food items that are available in the restaurants, and cards and coupons and users like who are logged in, who are signed up, and who created the accounts, etc. Next thing, Stripe. This plays completely in like payment process. After selecting food items, the front end sends the selected cart items to the backend through the payment API. The backend creates a Stripe checkout session by including project details, prices, shipping options, and payment mode. Stripe then returns a unique checkout URL. The backend sends the URL back to the front end. And like this complete payment flow is taken care by Stripe accounts. And now coming to our project demo here. Here, this is our project interface, and these are the 8 restaurants. And if we can see here, AI summary is also available, like which it considers several reviews, and by using Grok, we can easy add a AI feature that can easily identify the review is positive or negative or like this mixed reviews, etc. Yeah, mixed review and positive review, everything. And if we want to order something like here, we can see several menu items, charts, and main course items, and anytime food items, etc. And firstly, I want to take this dal makhani. I just had to cut. I didn't log in, so I didn't have account, so I am the new user creating the account. Yeah, I'm creating this. Mm, Password. Yeah, registered. I registered here. And now when I click this, and now what we want to add last time, okay, something fine, this add to cart, and here it started adding. And when I go to the cart, and it stores the restaurant and the item I want to order, and here order summary, total, and checkout. Now here Stripe checkout is open, and now I want to add the details of my something and phone number like this, and card information defaultly. And when I click on this pay, no thanks. Yeah, we can see your order has been placed successfully, and then go to orders, and we can see our Haldiram's is ready. Our order info is also available. Like this, we can order anything. Like we can sort by ratings also. Based on the ratings, we can see the available restaurants, and we can simply update our profile also, edit profile. Simply we can add our avatar from our files, and this update. And later on, if we want to log out, we can successfully log out, and we can easily log in, and we have search option too. Yeah, we- and here we can search anything. Likewise, Magna's restaurant, and add to cart. I just log in, and I just order like that. And for this adding images, we use Cloudinary, and there the images are saved in server, and that link we pasted in our database, and through that we can accessing these images. And thank you, this flow helped me understanding how each layer of MERN stack communicates with next layer, making the entire application works as a complete full stack system. And finally, this internship provided me a practical knowledge of MERN stack development. I learned how to build complete web applications from scratch, connected front-end and back-end, managed databases, and implement authentication. Overall, this internship strengthened my technical skills and prepared me to work in real-time full stack development projects. Thank you.